X-Force issue number 12. We begin with what I call social commentary. It may not be, but when Quentin Quire asks, why would you choose your country over your people? That's a conversation happening in Black America. When I choose my country, I am choosing myself. I am Russia, is what he says. That's weak. And he's got that cerebral sword. And that cerebral sword is more important than you know. The next panel is key because as he's dragging Quentin Quire, you can see that he's still using his powers. What's he doing with it? You'll see later he's writing Mikhail's name. We pick up in Krakoa with Sage and Beast. Now they know about the resurrection protocols. We just heard Mikhail knows about the resurrection protocols when he was talking to Quentin. But they also know that the Russian nesting dolls know. So they know that the enemy knows, but they just don't know which enemy knows what until Quentin Quire's Mikhail message shows up, and I think they can piece things together from there. This is when Beast has an idea. Remember Human Gate, Xeno as they're called? These guys are so evil. Look at him not even acknowledge evolution. He's gonna call it adaptation. There's this misleading belief that adaptation requires the patience of millennia. Blah, 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 blah. Use the word. It's called evolution. And there's some sort of a relationship between Mikhail and these guys, and he's saying we're just using each other. What about working together? Which is so crazy that a mutant is actually doing this. But whatever. He's saying we're stronger together. What? This is dark. This book adds stakes. I'll get to that part in a second. Kick back to Krakoa, where Beast meets up with Omega Red. Benjamin Percy's writing him in Wolverine. He's writing him here. He's talking amnesty, and Beast is not having it. They're going to arrest him. They also arrest Colossus when they pull up to him in the flowery petals. One moment Colossus is talking to his woman. The next moment Beast pulls up and he's armoring up. You can already see his armor changing. Love that. I don't love what Beast says. Beast wants to arrest him. And I'm thinking, your brother, your soldier, your pal, your guy. You've been through so much with this guy. You don't trust him? Is there a trust issue here? How? This is the part where I kick back to the Marauders book that came out this week, where you can see that there was a report that Bishop wrote saying, I'm hesitant to bring this up, but during my investigation into the Red Queen's murder, I discovered evidence that might point to a bad actor from Krakoa. A bad actor. Is there a mole within the ranks of these mutants? Is it Colossus? Because the response to that email is from Hank, which is Beast Henry McCoy. We should meet. Is it possible that they're doing what they should be doing and making these books connect to each other? I will cry if that report that Bishop wrote has to do with Colossus. I will shed tears if this is actually coming true. Because Marvel, I have such low expectations for these guys and their whole crossover ability that this would be shocking. So arrest Beast. Wolverine doesn't like it. The whole nation shows up. Wolverine's going to scatter them all. And X-Men roll call. We got Nesno. We got Rockslide, who's always in these background materials. And we got... Who else do I like in here? That's usually not in here. Anoli. And that's really all I care about. The new X-Men people. Now, the Cerebro Sword. The Cerebro Sword. It has knowledge. This was Cerebro once upon a time. Inside of it has all of that information of the backlog of mutants and their abilities. We remember what they did with Domino and how they were able to replicate that. Apparently that book that we read is more valuable. What Benjamin Percy just did is said, yo, chill, that book you bought, that you purchased, it's actually important and will play a factor in the future. He didn't just sell me a book for this sake of selling me a book. There was story being told in there, and that power can be replicated with Quentin Quire. Then boom, you have access to Cerebro, as we proved, because Jean Grey could use Cerebro to do the whole resurrection protocol thing. Quentin Quire can do it too. And if they can make a Quentin Quire or their own version of a telepath, and they've got Cerebro Sword, which can be, it's basically Cerebro, wow, Krakoa may just fall. And that's the thing with stakes. I don't believe Krakoa is going to stay forever. If you threaten me with, oh, all the mutants are going to die, whatever, yeah. See my Kitty Pryde reaction to her death. But when you say Krakoa could fall, I could easily see in a couple years Jordan D. White showing up on a Marvel YouTube trailer. We wanted to bring the X-Men back to what's more familiar to the longtime fans, and that's why they're back at the Xavier Institute in northern New York. Like, that's what I can see that happening. I can see Krakoa falling, and I can actually see the end of this nation, just like Genosha, just like Utopia. So the stakes were real. And that's the difference between killing people and taking something away. Wolverine is going to take Jean away, and they're going to try this really slick Marvel X of Swords advertising where Wolverine says, "We have more than the Cerebro sword to worry about." He was not talking about X of Swords. He was talking about Colossus. Benjamin Percy was not referencing the event that you have planned. Stop trying to sell me on that. MB, whatever. Which editor is MB? That's Mark Basso. Mark Basso, don't try that on me. You put the little Ten of Swords thing on the cover too. I am not fooled. And I will not be reading all of these chapters. I may, who knows, like, I'm reading the first one and it may be the best thing that's ever happened, and then I will be reading all the chapters, but I do not plan on reading all of these things. If you guys are, it's your money, but I'm not doing that. So how do we feel about this book? How do we feel about Beast's actions? What he's doing is extreme. He knows he's overreacting, and that's what kind of saves him as a character for me, because if I really thought he really thought low of Colossus and whatnot, no, he's doing this for a spectacle to show you guys the mutants that live on Krakoa, trust and just have them in line. He knows what he's doing is wrong, so that's a huge difference. I still don't approve of it, and I would never incarcerate a mutant without evidence and stuff. But still, I think he did a good job. Benjamin Percy did in that white page of explaining Beast's actions. So we'll see where it goes. Chillmonger, subscribe, like, thank you, comment, bye.